Scared. Well, as I said this evening, guys, welcome back, Realty Pros, to our Thursday evening new agent training. This evening, we are going over Brokermint. And Brokermint is the backbone of a lot of what we do at Porterhouse. So it is essential that you guys know how to utilize this system. It is really going to make your life easy. We use Brokermint from everything from onboarding our new clients, getting those buyer brokerage agreements signed, sending contracts, getting them ratified, managing our pipelines, contacts, and even libraries so that you know what to do, when to do, and all of those things. Brokermint also serves as somewhat of an assistant in that it will send you emails to let you know what deadlines are coming up and what you need to do. There are documents embedded and all of those things. So I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what Brokermint is as new agents to Porterhouse, and we'll go ahead and jump right into Brokermint. And welcome to some of our leadership team that's on the line as well. Of course, we have Anita here, our training coordinator and branch office manager for Upper Marlboro. We have Darlene and we have Kermon as well. Thank you guys for joining our new Realty Pros so that they can have a wealth of an experience learning about Brokermint this evening. So we welcome all of your input and everything to make sure that they can get the most out of this evening's training. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and begin my screen share of Brokermint with you guys. And we went over some of this information last week, so this is not going to be a reiteration of last week. What the intention of tonight is to go deeper into the Brokerment platform. Anita, where do you want to jump in?
So whenever you get to the actual offers and or listings, then I'm good.
Okay, excellent.
And at that point, I'll share my screen if it's okay, because then I can't, I can't manage your screen.
Excellent. All right, guys. So this is what your Brokerment platform is going to look like. So in Brokerment, this is brand new to you, likely, Ronald. Not sure if you've had a chance to go in and play around with it just yet, but all of these items over on the left-hand side of the screen in that black toolbar, those are the functions that you'll be able to do directly from Brokermint. In addition to that, your dashboard that's right in front of you, you're going to see monthly challenges and everything that we go through. You'll see my calendar there. You'll see every single day of the week in order for you to be making progress, what that can look like. So as a guide and as an example to make sure that what you're doing for your real estate business is productive. You see other useful links that are in your Brokermint account. So we went over this, your training video link, website, Boomtown, the auction platform, postcard orders, and all of those things are directly in your Brokermint account. Okay, so your pipeline is there, your transactions are there. I want to highlight a new feature to Brokermint that we have not utilized just yet. And it says buyer offers. And I want to say that because I want to make sure that everybody is clear that the process that we go through that includes all of our templates is not this feature that says buyer offers. We go through transactions the way that we always have. So I know that you guys are new to the platform, so I want to make sure that that doesn't cause any confusion there. Okay, so in terms of documents, you submit documents through this system as well, and that's how we'll be able to review those documents and approve them for you, as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. Your user information is there, your checklists are there also. So as we get started tonight and we're creating those transactions, you'll see how to implement the checklist and what the purpose of it is. Also, your commissions and everything for each one of the transactions that you create, you guys are going to be inputting commission information in there so that Mr. Porter and I know what that commission is that's negotiated in your buyer brokerage agreement, your listing agreement, who the agents are, how they get paid, and all of that good stuff. Then you also have notifications and billing and all of that. So one of the features there is for you to add your account information so that you can get paid directly from the software. Okay, so I know that that is probably a whole lot if you're brand new to the system, but no worries, we'll have some of a hands-on experience. And I see Cheryl, it seems as if you have your computer so you can play around in the platform. And Ronald, when you get a chance, just go in there and play around in the platform by creating a transaction, which is what we're going to do now. Okay. Brokermint is intended to be used on both the buying side or the purchase side of the transaction, as well as the listing side of the transaction. So for buyers, sellers, as well as renters and listing leases. So from that perspective, it's a full office system that you use. Does anybody have any questions before we move forward? All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Anita, you want to go ahead and create a transaction for them?
I will. So I'll go ahead and I'll share my screen now.
Yes.
And then okay. So hello, everybody. So just as Ms. Porter had mentioned to you, this is where we go to create our transaction. And I want to, and as she said also, I want to encourage everyone to just go in and just, you know, mess around in Brokermint, because if you create something and it's not what you want it to be, it's not a big deal. You'll be able to delete it, or you're not going to break anything, as Mr. Porter says, you're not going to break anything. So if we start on a transaction, then the first thing that we will do is we will come over here to transactions. And if you look in the right-hand corner, it says create a transaction. That's what you want to do. Okay. Let's start with a buyer's transaction first. Okay. So if we start with the buyer's transaction, up in the left-hand corner, it's going to be a sale, or, you know, whatever type of sale that it is. But just for the sake of this exercise, we'll say it's a traditional sale. Okay. And then as far as the status is concerned, everything starts out as listing. Okay. So that's how we're going to have that labeled. And then since we are working with the buyer side, and the buyer does not yet have a property to submit an offer on, we're going to go ahead and, for the sake of the exercise, we're going to name we're going to put the address, as I usually will put the buyer's name in there. So we'll just say that Cheryl Waller is our buyer. And then we'll use Upper Marlboro as the city. And we're going to change this out when we when we decide to submit an offer. For the sake of being able to set up a transaction, we're going to start it out in this way. Okay. And then we have her pre-approval letter, and let's just say that she's pre-approved for $555,000. Oops. Okay. And now since this is a buyer, we're not going to worry about the list date or the expiration date. We're going to go over here to the acceptance date. And we don't have an acceptance date yet, but we need to get beyond this screen. And so we're going to just put an acceptance date in this field. So today is the 15th. Let's just make the acceptance date tomorrow, for instance. Okay. And we have to kind of move again the screen along, and we're going to make the close date as of the October the 30th or 31st rather. Okay. And now this will allow us to continue on in the process. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assign commission amounts. Okay. And for that, we don't know, because we have the buyer, so we don't know yet what the total gross commission is. We don't know necessarily yet what the listing commission is, but we do know that our commission is 3%. Okay. So we're going to add 3%. We're going to select Porterhouse as the brokerage. And then we're going to select ourselves as the agent, okay? Hold on. We're gonna add our name as the agent. And that would be, let's make Darlene, how about that? Our agent. I-N-E? Okay,
I-N-E, yep.
okay. Bridges, here she is. Okay, so now we have our agency set up, and I guess I could have also something else. For instance, if you were going to, and so this is showing Darlene as the buyer's agent, showing that there's a 3% commission and she's getting 100% of that commission. Now, say for instance, if maybe she was working with another agent in the office, then you could go in and you could add a share to be able to split the commission, okay? So you can do that. So we're gonna continue on, and then we're gonna add our contact, okay? So we said that this is a buyer, and we've identified our buyer as Cheryl. Okay, and so all of this information that you're adding now is going to populate into your documents, okay? Now, one thing that I should have said prior to this is we're doing this as an exercise, and so your contact information is in here. But let me, first, let me just add a checklist, and then I'm gonna go back and I'll show you guys how to add contacts in Brokermint. So let's add a checklist. We're saying that this is a purchase in Maryland, a Maryland buyer. We have our information right here already. And then we have our buyer agent as Darlene. And there we are, our checklist comes up. And so what I love about this is this keeps you on task, okay? Because everything that you need to do pertaining to this transaction is right here, okay? It will take you from step to step so that you're able to complete your transaction from your the time you write the offer until the time you close and you submit your ALTA for your commission check, okay? Let me go back really quickly though and just show you where we're going to add a contact, okay? So before you even start, your contact is here, okay? So, and now the person that you have, you're going, or your client, you're going to have to add their contact information in. It's as simple as this, as just adding contact. You add their information, you identify them as a buyer, okay? And available to whomever. I usually leave it available, open for everyone, because I'm thinking that if we have a buyer and just so happen we have a dual agency situation where the seller is coming out of Porterhouse as well, they don't have to go in and put that information. They, you know, Cheryl's information, it's already there. And then you just add their information and you create the contact, okay? So we have, does anyone have any questions up until this point right now? Right, I usually add my contact first. Yes, I usually, because, well, the thing is that you're gonna need a contact, you know, once you start doing the transaction. So you should add your contact first, okay?
But
okay.
if it's not there,
You can.
you can create it
Right.
during the transaction.
You can, right, you can create it during the transaction. However, for me, it's easier to just add it beforehand. You are correct. Yes. You said you too. Okay. Okay. So, so here we are, we have our to-do list. We've added, in fact, this is the first thing on the to-do list, add contact information. So you've done that. So you're going to check that off. Okay. Now you're going to write a great offer. Okay. And the great part about this, oh, I should have done this before. Let me log back in again. What happened? So this is the way I like to explain what just happened. Because it was as if though I was not even in Brokermint. It made me have to sign into Brokermint again. So the way that I love bed and breakfasts, so the way that I've explained this to anyone who is having to experience Brokermint is I say that, this is, so the porters on the bed and breakfast, and so that allows us into the front door of the bed and breakfast, but we have the privacy of our own room. And so you need to then use your key to get into your room. So that's the reason, or that's the way that I kind of think about it. Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to write a great offer. The great part about this is you don't even have to necessarily, these are your primary documents that are a part of the offer, okay? You may have to change out your financing addendum because maybe it's not an FHA. Your buyer doesn't have the FHA loan. Maybe they have conventional loan. Maybe they're not a first-time home buyer. If they're not a first-time home buyer, then you can go ahead and you can delete that document from your offer, okay? So let's just say for the sake of argument that this is not an FHA loan. This is a conventional loan. So all you do is you go down here and you select add more forms, okay? And then you come over and I will select Mars and I just start typing in conventional financing. So I check that one off. I select it, I add it. And then what I do is I just move it up to where FHA is and I delete then the FHA. So these are my documents. I love it. I'm ready to move forward. If you needed to, you can even, maybe you have downloaded a document that you need. You can go here and you can just get the document that you need from your download, okay? But we're gonna move forward. So here is our agent and here is our buyer. Any of these other tabs that you have that are blank, you wanna delete those, okay? Okay, so now we have our agent, our buyer. Also too, something else that you can do from this position is you can assign order of signatures. So say for instance, I want, oh, you know what? I want Cheryl to sign the documents before I sign them if I were Darlene. So then she can just click on that and she can change the order of signature, okay? And then you go ahead and you continue on. Well, I could have put some other in, okay? So now you're on your documents that you're gonna fill in. Okay, and actually I should go back because I didn't put any of that information in there. And so that's the reason why it did not populate. So let me go back. When you go down to this portion, you're gonna add yourself. You're gonna add, we don't have it here, okay. Our broker. We don't have a listing agent yet. And so we add as much of this information that we need. Okay, and then we continue on. Okay, so now we have our greeting letter to our buyer. And it has populated Darlene's name in here as the broker. I'm sorry, as the agent. and it has all her information in here. She will have to add, you'll have to add your telephone number because that information is not populated, okay? And so say, for instance, I want to add her name, her telephone number rather, to the document. I go over here, I click up at the top, I click on text, and I just put a box there. I move my box over, I expand it as I need it to be expanded, and then I click in it and I add her number. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, and then I continue on, and I'm not going to go through all of the documents, but just so that you can kind of see what you're going to need. So at this point, when you're submitting an offer, you've identified a seller, okay? And actually that information would be in here as well. It would have already been in here because you're going to add that to the previous page where we added Darlene's name and Miss Porter's name as the broker, okay? And then it's just a matter of clicking in the in each tab and adding the information that you need to add, okay? Now, I will say for, let me see, for say, for instance, dates, well, let me go down to a document that needs a date. So you go in and you fill in all the blanks because what you're trying to, you only have one time to make a good first impression, okay? And so you want the agent that's receiving this information to look at your package and be impressed by the details and the completion of the package, okay? So you wanna make sure that you add all of the information in that's necessary or that is required, okay? Go through your documents, and now we're looking at the documents, and we wanna make sure that we complete all of the documents, that we fill them in completely. We're going to add, this is just, so there are some documents that you may only need to put a check. And if you notice here, there is a signature blank, okay? And so there's actually, because you added that contact name, this person has been assigned this signature spot, okay? And it says buyer one, and buyer one is Cheryl. If, say, for instance, Cheryl was purchasing the home with someone else, it will have two spaces where there are signatures, and there's a buyer one, a buyer two, or however many buyers that this applies to. The date you're going to go in, and in order to fill the date in, you're going to go in and you're going to change this from buyer one to fill now, okay? And then your calendar comes up. And so then we put our date in the field there, okay? And so you go through, fill out all of your documents, make sure that you have everything filled in as is needed. And once you get everything filled in, and then this is your actual, and I'm hoping that you all have had an opportunity, and tell me if you have or have not had the opportunity to go in and take a look at the documents so you can kind of see what the documents are that are part of the listing agreement. Has anyone had the opportunity to go in and look at them, and so they can see what documents are part of the listing agreement? Yes, Cheryl said yes. Okay, so with that being said, again, as the more information that you add, the more that will populate into your offer. So say, for instance, if I would have added the seller on the other screen, then it would have populated into this page here. But you could still then, if you needed to, you could still, this is the harder way to do it, because when you do it this way, then you're going to have to do it this way for every page. So I would advise you to add it up front versus, and let it populate into your contract or your offers, and versus doing it like this. But we'll add Angela Skipper's name. Skipper. Is it Skipper or Sirs?
That's it.
Yes,
Nope.
that's it. Angela said that's it. And then you'll have to add your date in. So then you go in and you add your date. Okay, so then just make sure that you have all of your pages filled in completely, okay? See, and you'll notice that all of this places for signatures or initials are already a part of the document. And so when you send it over to your buyer, they're going to then be able to go through and just click on open it up and then begin to start the signature and or initial process. Make sure that, for instance, just kind of, you're going to need to pay attention, because you want to make sure that when there's a choice that you only select one of the choices. So, you know, is Cheryl going to have an inspection, or is she declining the inspection? And Cheryl has decided that she's going to have an inspection. And so we're going to delete this one, this initial here, because you can't have it and not have it at the same time. So that's basically what you do. And then if if you've never written an offer before, the best, and I do this still even now, the best way for you to know that you have an accurate offer is to go to Brokermint, and you can have 2 screens up where you're looking at, because in Brokermint, there is a sample offer that gives you guidance to help you to make it through the process of writing the offer. If you have other concerns, then definitely, we want you to reach out to us. But in Brokermint is a sample that for writing the offer that you're able to go in and take apart and just look at and then add whatever information that is needed in your contract based on what the sample was. Okay, so that's the process of that. So then once you finished it, you filled it all in, you're going to then send it over to your buyer. Okay, and so from here, you could either close it, save it and close it, or you can click on this up arrow here and you can send it out for signatures. Okay, so when you send it out for signatures, you go in and you can use this setup that they have here already, or you can go in and you can make your own, do your own, write your own sweet little note. Okay, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And for some reason, I have like a hyphen here, so I always have to take that out. So just hi, Cheryl, Anita has requested your signature. Okay. And then you send it out, and I won't send it to you, Cheryl. Well, should I send it to you, Cheryl? I will send it to you just so that you can see what it looks like when you receive it. You don't have to look at it right now, but that's it. So you have it already set up, and you have it sent out to your buyer, and your buyer is then able to go through and sign off on the offer as you all have discussed, because you've already spoken and talked about, what your offer was going to consist of. And all this is just putting it in writing, what it is that you all have already decided the offer was going to be. And that's all you have to do. And then, of course, you monitor it here. When Cheryl has received it and has signed off on it, then it will come back to me. And I can't remember, what does it say? Is it complete? Does it say complete, or what does it say when you receive it back?
When you receive it.
When once it's signed off.
It just, well, one thing, you'll get in your email, it tells you the person viewed it,
Right,
and then let you know if they signed.
right. And that is true. It will give you a notice that the person has actually viewed the document, and also it will let you know when it has been signed off. And then when you receive it back here, you get a notification also that says that, you know, you have that has been signed off. Okay. So, I mean, go through this and just step by step. I mean, this really just keeps you on track as far as writing an offer is concerned. It just keeps you on track. Okay. And then, you know, because if you might forget something, or, you know, and you can just come in here and you can say, okay, well, I have to do this. I have to make sure that I do this. And another thing, Brokerment, they send you notices. If you've maybe haven't done a task, it will send you a notice to ask you to do the task. Okay. Are there any additional questions as far as writing the offer is concerned?
Did you go over the fact that when they start up the transaction and they put that address in there, like right here, you can't put an address,
Right.
put the person's name, right, but if you know, what did you?
Okay.
you have the address,
Right. Okay. Exactly. So thank you, Darlene. So once you know what your address is, you're going to come over here and you're going to go to edit, and we can just say, you know, that the address is 123 my new house. Okay. And the city, state, and zip code remains the same. And when you do that, then again, all of that information is going to be populated into your document. So I'll show you where that is too. All of that. So you don't have to keep going from page to page to page to page, adding. And in fact, it's right. Actually, yeah.
It should be on that sheet.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This happened to me the other day, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. Had to go in and put them all in. Gotta refresh.
Did you? I was getting ready to say, let me go out.
Bed and breakfast all together and come back in.
I know. I know. Do you need to leave the bed and breakfast and go back in?
That's what I did.
Oh no, that's not. What did I say the address was? My new house. Okay. So,
And Ronald has a question in the chat when you get a second.
okay, go ahead. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. I know. So Ronald wants to know if when you send someone an email for a signatures, do they have to set up a password?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, you don't set up a password. It just asks you, it tells you that there's something for your signatures. You go and you click it, and then it'll start. It has a start button, and you just start going. The recipient will then start just clicking on the signature and or initial spaces, and then at the very end, it'll ask you to that you authenticated, or
Can you say on there somewhere, I don't know if it show what like that box. If you don't have that box checked off, like order to send it. You mean when they finish? Right, it's no, when you set it up, that little box.
I'm not exactly sure what you. I apologize. Yeah. Huh, I wonder why is that happening? Because it's not updating right there. Okay. But when you put in the address will be in this space. Oh, I know why. I apologize. I know why. Because I'm just clicking on the document versus clicking on, at this point.
Oh, edit.
Right, well, actually, I would have to restart, but this is good. I'm glad that we, right,
I'm sure.
right. I'm glad that we kind of came up against this because now you can see, so we're gonna restart.
You see what you have there? If you don't have that, okay,
This is what you're talking about, Darlene?
right, 'cause that's-
Right,
So that means it's first gonna go to Cheryl, she'll sign, and then it'll go to me.
right,
Can't assign. You can't assign it in.
right. And then I said, okay, so, and this is where also I would put Andrew, the seller's name in, okay? So the more information that you put in here, the less information. Oh, is that what that said? Selling broker? So let me go back. Oh, I did say that. Okay, so like I said, the more information that you put in here, the more, the less that you have to, add to your document. Oh, someone said they couldn't hear Darlene's comments. Okay, so what Darlene was saying, and I had mentioned this before, but I'll show you guys again. In this screen, she's saying that you can assign an order of signature. So when you click on this, then that allows you to move these participants. I don't think so. You can't.
She's saying as long as you have the box checked, you have a lot more liberty to change things. But I do assign the order.
Right.
But the box, I think it's just.
Right.
checked.
Right. 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 Okay. So, yeah, so then, anyway, so I think that is pretty much the process of writing an offer. Okay. Are there any additional questions? No more?
Comment that might be helpful.
Okay.
That was helpful to me. After you send it. Can you hear me?
I don't know, but if,
Well. After
Can you speak
send
up? It sounds like Angela, but can you speak up? Because it's hard to hear you.
I'll do it.
okay.
Hello?
We can hear you,
That's
Angela.
better.
Okay, I was just saying that sometimes when, I've sent a document and then someone will say, I haven't received it. So if you show them the field where, you can go to where their emails are. I can't see the screen from in here. If you go to where their emails are, you can see the status of the document that you sent. So it'll either show that you sent it,
You talking about down here?
or,
inactivity?
you can change their email. If someone says, oh, you sent it to my email, but I'm at work, then you can go in there, change the email, correct it, and resend it to try to get that signature.
Right.
Right, here, okay.
You see
Okay.
it?
Yes,
If you come out of here,
this,
go back to the document.
As if you were sending
If you
it.
were in the document, yeah, go back to there. And go ahead like you've already sent it. Next.
okay,
It's the one in.
Yes, send and sign.
You go to send for e-sign and then just hit that and see it right. You go to the end, then I think we can show you.
Mhm.
And you want to talk about right?
Okay.
Change
No,
email?
you can hit send
Okay, and you're gonna get another one, Cheryl,
right here. Where's it?
right,
On the bottom. right there.
Oh, here, okay,
Right.
got it, here.
Click that. And then you can see, this is where I sent
Sent
it
it
to
to-
double check if you have an error.
Uh-huh.
You can say,
Okay.
oh, I spelled Cheryl wrong, but you
Right.
can see sent and see Darlene Bridges is waiting.
Right.
She won't get it until Cheryl gets it.
Yeah,
And when Cheryl signs it, it'll say sign. And that way you can say, well, why haven't I gotten the confirmation? Why haven't I gotten the confirmation? Then you can go here and find out where your document is and why they haven't received it. So if you have two buyers, one of them may show sign and one's still showing viewing or nothing.
Okay,
But it'll show viewing, it'll show sign, and that way you can
wherever it is
know
in the
exactly where
process.
to go to try to make sure that document gets signed. And it'll say sign where sometimes you'll be on there.
Right, okay, okay, thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I wasn't sure if I had gotten that last question. Oh, can't hear Darlene. Oh, so we did. Any other questions in that regard? No? Okay. So is everyone kind of feeling, how does everyone feel about that process? Do you think that's going to encourage you to go home and try a transaction or 5 or 10 yourself?
It's just trial and error.
Right, it's just about,
It
it is. So what we'll do now, Miss Porter, do you want me to go on to creating
The
a
listing
listing?
side, yes.
Okay, all right, so I'll go ahead and we're back here in transactions and we're gonna create a transaction. And again, we know, okay, this is we're gonna just say this is a traditional sale. We're gonna leave it as a listing. Now this time, however, and we've already added our contact to the contacts. This time, however, we do actually have an address because this is a listing, okay? So 444, I don't know, Main Street. And maybe Upper Marlboro.
And at this time, you've already put it in as a contact, right?
Yes, you have your contact in. I didn't go through that part again because, you know, right. That's the first step, right? And so our list price, okay, so 444 Main Street is the property address, and we're gonna do a list price of let's say $750. Now our list date, we actually have a list date, okay? So we're gonna say our list date is today's date, okay? Our expiration date, we're gonna make our expiration date, this is September. Let's
6 months.
yeah, let's go March. I'm with 6 months, but what is that? You know, okay. And then so we don't need to have an acceptance date yet to get beyond the screen, nor do we need to have a close date, but we do need to have, so on the seller side or on the listing side, we need to have a list date and an expiration date, okay? And so we're gonna go to next. Now, because we have the seller and because it's customary that the seller pays the commission, we know what our commission, what our gross commission is, okay? And we're saying our gross commission is 6%. We are the listing side. And so we're Porterhouse and we have the listing side. We're saying that our commission is 3.5%. And we are going to assign an agent. Ronald, I'm trying to remember Ronald Singleton. He can be our listing agent. And then we don't, and again, if there's a split, you can add that. But right now, Ronald is getting 100% of his commission. We don't have a buyer yet, and that's okay. So we don't have to put anything there. We can put though, their commission amount, but we don't have a brokerage that we have assigned that to yet. Okay, and then we're going to go to next. We're going to add our contact and our seller. Now at this point, our seller, who else is on the line with us? Cremon, we'll make Cremon our seller, okay? And we're gonna add, yes, the seller, okay. And then our listing agent, again, is going to be Ronald. Okay, and we'll continue from here. Okay, and we go through our checklist. Okay, so we have our seller's address set up, and now we have to add a checklist. We add a checklist. Okay, and so we're gonna add a Maryland listing. We don't have an acceptance date, but we're going to put one in here just so that we can, again, continue on. Okay. Let's see here. Oops. Let's make our acceptance date maybe October 31st, because we want to be able to see the task. Well, actually, let's make our acceptance date. Rather, let's make it closer. Let's make our acceptance date. We can make that the 16th this time, and make our close date again October 31st. Okay. Mm-hmm. The date that we accepted the offer. We don't have one yet, but we need to be able to move forward to get to our checklist. Okay, and so we have to kind of put something in there for right now. And then what will happen is, so once we have that, and I'm glad you asked that, once we have that, we can go back. Once we have a buyer, we can go back and we can edit. Okay, and then we can add what is our true acceptance date and what is our true close date. Okay, so
Does it automatically populate our checklist?
Yeah, because you gotta pick that Maryland volume check.
yes, it automatically populates. Yes, right. Our checklist. Once we put our dates in there, that's what generates our checklist and assigns dates to the particular tasks that are required for us. Okay, so we added our contact person. Okay, and we're going to do our, now this is the thing, the complete our pre-listing prep. Okay, and this is great because this is information that you're going to actually gather from your seller even before you have your listing presentation with them. Okay, this is information that you're gathering from them. Okay, and it's, you know, just you're trying to get to know your seller. Okay, you're trying to find out what the seller's motivation is. What is it that they're expecting of you as their agent, and what is it that they're expecting of the experience? Okay, so you're going to get all this information. You're also going to get the property detail information. You need to know the details of the property as far as the financial condition is concerned, and as far as what the you know, the features of the home is concerned. All of this information you're going to add in. Okay, and so once you have that information, you're going to save that, and let's say, just for the sake of the exercise, we'll say that we gathered that information and we've closed it out. Okay, then you're going to go in and you're going to, so you've had your listing presentation with them, and they're going to list their property with you. And the great part about it is, with this with that pre-listing prep, a lot of this information, or you can kind of fill in what you need just based on the information that you have received from the pre-listing prep, okay? And again, so now you have your documents for the listing, okay? And again, if you needed to add a document, maybe this will be a condo, so then you can go here and you can look under condo, or maybe there's even an HOA or something. And you add whichever documents that you, whichever documents that you would need as part of your listing, okay? And so you then continue on because you have all your documents, but this gives you at least, it gives you the main pieces of the listing agreement that you don't have to really it's there for you. So you don't have to really try to figure out what it is. You may have to add and or take some things away, and that's okay. Okay. And again, if you whatever pieces that you don't need, you're going to discard. Okay. Now with this, this is just the listing agreement. So you don't have a buyer's agent information or anything yet. Okay. If there was a second seller, then you're obviously going to add the second seller there. If you want to assign signatures, if you want them to be signed, the documents to be signed in a particular way, I have take out one of these here. Okay. So if you want them to sign in a particular order, you can do that assignment. And just as Angela has said, if you do it like that, then you're also able to go in and if your buyer or your seller rather says, hey, where is the document or whatever, you can see and confirm and verify that you actually did send it to the correct email address or make whatever changes that are necessary. And you go through this process in the same way that you do the buyer's process as far as filling out the documents. Make sure that you fill out the documents completely. You're going to, again, in Brokermint, there's just like there was for the sample for the buyer's offer, there is samples for the seller listing agreement that you're able to go in and follow that and be able to fill out the documents as needed, okay? So this is all the information that we had previously added in, and we're able to, I don't know where that came from, okay. Oh, I see why, that's Kerman's, that's his contact information, his address, okay. And so, and make sure that, if there's an option, make sure that you unselect the option that is not pertaining to your seller, okay? So make sure that you go in and you delete whatever that is, okay? And you just go in and you fill out all the information, okay? And then at that point, you're able to go in again, once you have all the information filled out, once you've gone through it and made sure that you have everything filled out, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to then send it to your seller for signatures, okay? Or however it is that you've assigned it, you're going to send it out and it will, whomever it is, will be able to sign it as it is. Make sure that you also add your dates, okay? So if you click on a date and it doesn't show up, just click on the field and then you can add your date in here, okay? Are there any questions as far as that is concerned? So basically, the filling out portion of it is the same as, I mean, you have the same tools available to fill out your document as you would for the buyer side, okay? The important thing is to just make sure that your document is filled out completely, okay? And also make sure that you have that when there are options that you have or you've deleted the option that does not pertain to your seller, okay? And again, I keep saying, because all of this is in Brokerment. So, you know, although you have these blank pages in front of you, you're able to just look, and I'll show you what it looks, the sample looks like in Brokerment, because it's very helpful. I'm not going to send this as a signature. Okay, so to find those documents, you're going to go to your library. If you have a question about anything, the first place you probably want to look is in the library, okay? And so when we are working with sellers, we go down here and it says working with sellers. And as you scroll down, you'll see where it says, oh, that's why I can't find it. Okay. We're going to work with sellers, working with sellers. And here is your, just say, sample listing documents in Prince George's County. So, and I do this all the time. I open it up. And it's a guide, you know, I mean, you can literally just put this side by side with your document and be able to fill out your document. Okay, so it shows me that for a seller, I need to have, you know, and have this box checked, you know, and this box checks. Okay, so I know that I need to have signatures here for this particular document, which this document is understanding who agent represents, okay? And it's good also to absolutely take the time, and I know it's a lot, but to take the time and, you know, read through the documents so you'll know what it is that you are sharing with your client. I mean, it's necessary for you to read through the document so that you'll know what you're sharing with the client, so that you can also explain the documents to your client, whether there are the buyer or the seller, okay? And so this, you know, it just helps you to know where to fill the blanks in, where are you going to fill your blanks in, okay? Also too, and I could have, and I'll go back and I'll show you just some of the other features as far as filling in the blanks and or, you know, crossing out or whatever, you know. So that's what this is. You can literally just use this as your guide, and you can go in and you can fill out your listing agreement just based on the based on your sample. Okay, so this is our sample again. So you've filled out your listing agreement, and once you receive the listing agreement back from your seller, then the signatures that pertain to you, you're going to go ahead and you're going to, you know, sign it. It'll send you the same email that your seller receives. You receive that email and you're able to fill your information out or sign for your information as well. okay? And then once you do that and you have all your signatures, then you're gonna be able to, once you've sent it off again, you'll be able to submit it for review, okay? And then you'll get a notification back when it has been approved. Also, just kind of, you can mess with some of these features. I want to maybe add a signature, okay? So if I want to add a signature, I go in, I click on signature, and then I just go through my document wherever I want to add a signature. Okay, so say for instance, and actually for a signature, we wouldn't add one here, but where you would be adding a signature is probably you received an offer and the seller has, I'm sorry, the buyer's agent has sent you an offer and you want to sign off on their document. So then that's where you can go in and you can add a signature, okay? I want to show you also when you receive offers, where you're going to go to review those offers. Also, before I do that, let's just go to, let's go to unsorted. Well, so first you click on document because this unsorted unsorted tab wouldn't show until you do that. And then you click on your unsorted tab. And this information here, no, I'm actually offers, you would go to offers. This web or this, what is this called? This
That's the
link, that's the word I'm trying to say. This link, yeah, this link, you add this link into your remarks in the MLS, okay? And the great part about this is that once you add this link in, any buyers, agents who are trying to submit an offer, all they have to do is just click on that link in the remarks and it will prompt them to, in fact, if I just click on the link, you'll see, and it prompts them to fill in the information that they need and provide information that they need to be able to submit an offer, okay?
Why don't you go ahead and complete that? Like, complete that and show the agents what it'll look like.
Okay, so we're gonna offer, we'll offer 800,000 rather, because this person really, really wants this house. And we're gonna give say $20,000 EMD. This is going to be we'll say it's a conventional loan. You're gonna put your lender information in there. And if there's any contingencies, maybe there's financing, maybe there's a inspection. Okay, is your buyer qualified? Okay, so, or pre-qualified. If it's a conventional, I'm assuming that they've probably already, they're not taking them out and writing an offer on someone who isn't pre-qualified. But so add that information. You're going to add your buyer agent information. Let's see, who can I add? I'll just make Darlene again. Darlene, you can just be the person.
I'm the buyer.
No, you're the buyer, you're the agent.
Okay.
And the company name is Porterhouse International Realty Group. And the email address, let me just put mine. Oh, actually I could put Darlene's. I know Darlene. Yeah. R-E-A-L. Okay, and, oops, her phone number. You're 333-333-333. Okay, and then your buyer information. You're gonna add the buyer's information in there. I'm just using the people in the office here because I know they're here. And then you're going to, it allows you to upload your documents. So their offer, they're able to upload right here, okay? And then, and I don't know if it'll let me submit. It won't let me submit without uploading something. Okay, so let's just say this is our document. Okay. And then you submit. And then what will happen is, so I have that offer, it's been submitted. Okay, and let's see. I'm able to now go down to offers. Oh. And here is Angela's offer. So I'm able to see her offer. And what you do, you go down here, here's the offer. If there were, you know, like a real offer attached, then then you would be able to go in and you could review the offer, okay? And then say for instance, there is an offer and maybe your seller, they, you know, instead of the, I don't know, they want 25,000 in an earnest money deposit. I just, if you want to, you can, just for the sake of the exercise, we'll say that, you know, here's where you go in and you can counter the offer, okay? So you go in and you can then say, you know, seller requesting, you know, 25,000 EMD. Okay, and you submit your counter and that goes directly to then the buyer agent. Okay, any questions in that regard? So all of your offers, because you have provided them with this link, all of your offers are going to show up in this space here in your offer tab.
So how does your client, your seller, sign off?
How does he sign or she sign? Right. So then what will happen is, okay, so just say this is the offer, right? And then the when you go down, right. And what you would do is you're going to say you'll have 3 options or 5 options or whatever. You just highlight the option that your seller may be interested in working with, and then they open up the offer, and then you would download. This is what I do. I download the offer, and then what I do is, so let me go ahead and I'll just do that. Let me download the offer. And I'm gonna just, I'll save it to my desktop. And then I go, if I want to have my, if I want to have, move out of the way. Okay, no, let's just go back here. If I want my now seller to be able to sign off, I'll go here, again to documents, I go to unsorted, and I'm going to add a document. I'm going to upload a file. I'll find it. And now here it is. And so from here now, so from here now, I can set it up for e-signature. I can, and then add my seller's information in here. And Cremon is my seller. And this is where now, okay, so if I wanted to have, signatures, I would just add then, because this document was not produced in this Brokerment. So now you have to manually put in where you want your signatures to be. Okay. Any other questions? Also too, in this space here, you could also, let me back. You could also edit. So say for instance, there were multiple, and I should have, let me just go in and I'm trying to make sure that, let me go in and maybe just get another document of some sort. Because I love this part of it. Well, I don't want to, let's see. Oh boy, let me go into, I'm trying to find something that I could work with here. That would be, let me see here.
Can you just add that for logo? Just pick something to.
Right, okay, okay, yeah, the Porterhouse logo. Okay, so here under edit, say for instance, so you have all these different pieces to this offer, right? But you want to have your seller to sign it as one complete packet, okay? So you can do that. You don't have to send them several different, pieces of it, because what you'll have for sure is you'll have your part of it, the disclosures that you have already added, and then you'll have the buyer's offer, okay? And maybe the buyer had this, then you want your package to be one complete package, okay? So the way that you do that is you go over to edit, you do merge, okay? And with this, you're able to then add documents to the merge. And you can call it, offer number one, or, whatever you decide to call it, whatever you decide to name it. Okay. And then that way you have both pieces of the offer in one packet. Okay. And then you can, of course, then these pieces that are the individual pieces, you're able to delete. So yeah. So does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Any other questions that anyone may have? Okay,
Excellent, Anita. I have one more thing. If you would show them, go back to the offer section.
okay,
And that offer, click the box beside it where it says Angela Skipper,
mm-hmm.
and hit the button on the right that says approve.
Right. Okay, and then
So
you're
when you
able
approve
to
that offer,
you're able to now, because you're sending a email to the accepted offer, okay? So you can say congratulations. You have to, congratulations, buyer agent. Offer accepted. Okay. And you send that to them. Okay, and so they're able to get that notification. And then, for others, if there were, for your other offers, and I should have pointed it out before we did that part, but, for the other offers that maybe you had another 4 that you did not go with, your seller did not go with, then you're able to put, click reject and then send them also notification in that way as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you approve that,
Angela has a question. Just one moment. Yeah, and the reason why I say that, Angela, because the people, I don't know that the participants can hear you, so they don't know that you're getting your question together.
so as far as tracking,
Mhm.
how do we track these communications that go back and forth?
So, okay, and I'm wondering, is this what you mean, activity? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so you can go to the activity and you can see everything that has been done, okay? So you can see, I sent this this buyer agent, this email, congratulations, offer accepted, or, whatever it is that you have done as far as this listing is, everything that you've done on it, everything that you've received is shown here in the activity, under the activity button.
I have another question.
Okay, let me say this too, because I'm not sure if everyone heard Angela's question. They just heard my response to your question. So Angela asked, how do we track, what has gone on with the
Our communication.
with the communication? And so my response to her, that's what made me go to the activities tab. Okay. And Angela says she has another question.
Okay, so my next question is, on the receiving end, where does that, is it coming from Brokerment? Is it coming from my email? What does that email look like? Do you know?
So you're saying the buyer, when they're getting it?
Yeah, so if Darlene's the agent and she's sending Angela the message saying your offer was rejected, I'm just curious, maybe Ms. Porter knows, but what does that email look like? So when we send these documents to our clients, they say either Porterhouse.
Right.
What does that from look like?
Right. So Ms. Porter,
So the
that's a good
buyer's
question.
agent, it sure is, but let's answer it in a demonstration. The buyer's agent, whose name Anissa just used, open up your phone or your email and check for that congratulatory email letting you know that your buyer's offer was accepted, and share with the group what it looked like.
Is it Darlene? Can you open your email? Open phone.
Okay, yes, Darlene is gonna open her email to see what it looks like. Yes, and she's gonna share with us because I just sent you an email congratulating you because your offer was accepted. So we want to know what that. Yes, Darlene. So we want to know, Darlene, what do you receive? What does that look like? Oh, she was not expecting us to get back with her so soon.
No, I'm just. She was talking to another client, but what other round accepted? Is, hi there, your offer has been approved.
Who is it? Is it from our?
Porterhouse.
Okay, so it does.
Like what our clients get from Brokerment, it's that thing.
It is, yeah. So yeah, it's in that same format as what your client will receive. That's how they receive their notification. And even, when there's back and forth, that's how you receive it. When there's counter offers or any other communication. So all of that looks the same. Right.
So the reason I brought is when I'm working with a buyer or seller and we're signing documents, they're used to getting emails or communications from Angela at Porterhouse. So
Right.
during my consultation, whether it's a listing consultation or buyer consultation, at that moment, I'll let them know if I haven't done sooner, the emails they should get from me. So usually it's Angela at Porterhouse, so look out for this, because some things I've had people with different security features on their emails,
Right,
and then from Bright. But those are the 3 emails I have them look out for.
right. Okay, I
Or
got it.
sometimes you'll find-
Right. So
Yes.
I'm not sure if everyone heard Angela. Did you? But what she was saying was, just to prepare her client, whether they be a buyer or a seller, she gives them heads up as to what it is, what her communication with them how that will come to them. So whether that is, through Brokerment, through her email, or through the MLS. She lets them know what her communication with them is. Thank you, Angela. Anyone else, any other questions? Oh, okay, so I hope that this has been helpful to you all. I hope this is more importantly, encouraging you to go in, and just as I did, everything that I did this evening was just a mock. It's nothing that is it's nothing that is going to actually go out. And so it just shows you how you're able to just go in and just really mess around in Brokerment and kind of begin to familiarize yourself with it, so that when you are faced with the opportunity to be able to either write a listing agreement up, or write an offer up, then you won't have that intimidation factor, because you'll already be familiar with it. You may have additional questions, but you'll be familiar with what it is that you have to do. So I encourage you, please go in and just start messing around in Brokerment. Okay. And if there is no other questions, Ms. Porter, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
Excellent job tonight, Anissa, ladies that are in the office, everybody that has contributed to the training this evening. Great job. This video will be uploaded for you guys within the next 24 hours or so. So by all means, go to the Porterhouse YouTube channel for all of our new Realty pros and watch it again, because this system is going to be the backbone of what you use for all of your transactions. So look at it again, call, ask questions, play around with it. Like Anita said, go in and do a mock transaction. You can't break the system. And I just second everything that Anita said about going in there and getting this practice in advance of having a transaction, just like she said, so that there's no intimidation. So I just am excited to see everybody joining tonight. And Anita, you've done a great job. I'm good with that. We can go ahead and end for the evening.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead